I will stand up to the promise that I made to you when I was sat around your kitchen table at the Manor 2023, that I will always forever care, love and protect your daughter Poppy.
As Poppy's younger sister, it means I've followed her example, and I can honestly say it's got me through life. Always turning to Poppy for advice whenever I needed it, as I'm sure many of her friends in the room will agree. When I was younger, this meant I idolised Poppy and thought she was the pinnacle of cool.
When we walked down the street, he'd insist on walking on the curb, explaining that at the wise old age of 10, compared to me just being 6, he'd already lived his life in case a car came up in the curb.
Sometimes following Poppy's example expressed itself also as copying everything she did. Poppy wore a white miniskirt, I tried to wear a white miniskirt. Poppy played Super Mario Kart, I also played Super Mario Kart. And if Poppy played The Sims, I also played The Sims. Not wanting to waste a minute, I frantically tried to log out. However, Poppy was in a phase of making her Sims have babies, one of which had been born, and I had to name it to log out. Unfortunately for Pops, it was Dad's birthday, so I had an idea. But the baby was a girl, and such it was that baby Pauline was brought unto the virtual world. Poppy was furious. She didn't want poor old-fashioned baby Pauline, so that family was swiftly left in an unfilled swimming pool to die.
That's what happened.
Obsessed with making her Sims woohoo, Poppy turned her attention to getting a boyfriend in the only way she knew how, adding the task to one of her lists. You can imagine Poppy at 16, me at 10, in our shared bedroom on a Sunday evening, as Poppy gave me, her captive audience, a rundown of how she was going to start a new life the next week. How would she do this? Well, according to her to-do list, item 1, go to church. Item 2, meditate. Item 3, get a boyfriend. Anyway, Sam first entered our lives, leaving his boots neatly lined at the door not long later, only for life to take them in different directions. Sam first to the Navy and Poppy to university, until one fateful night at Bingo in Leamington Spa. Poppy will have you believe that this was a completely serendipitous reunion. Pure coincidence.
Now, some of the audience today may not know that me and Poppy dated when we were 18 years old. We had the subconscious knack of gravitating towards each other in any social situation.
Yeah.
As the sober driver who dropped Poppy, Lucy, Becky and Lox into Leamington, I can now set the record straight. It began while getting ready at home, with murmurs of, "Pops, you know Bart is out tonight," with a raised eyebrow, to the next morning when I found Poppy giddy drinking a gin and tonic at 9 a.m. and Sam returning to say goodbye to Poppy later that day, giving me a firm handshake and a very formal greeting and looking slightly worse for wear. On the grapevine, I heard Poppy had been accidentally involved in a bar fight, and Sam had gallantly attended to Poppy's medical emergency. Now, anyone who knows Pops and Sam knows Pops is never far from a bar fight, and Sam is never far from a medical emergency. And so, it was like that Sam re-entered our lives, and they have never looked back.
I joined the Navy, we lost contact over the years. But if we did bump into each other at a party, it was like no time had passed. And then, in the September of 2021, we met again, and before we knew it, we were dating again. Whey! Asking you to marry me in the April of 2023, I can safely say that I've never been so nervous in my life. And that really is saying something, seeing as I'm the worst sailor in the Royal Navy. Now these nerves were compounded as I got down on one knee, ready to cherish the beautiful moment as I asked you to marry me. And can anyone guess what Pop said to me? Fuck off.
She does.
It's okay though, as you can see I didn't fuck off, so here we are as husband and wife.
When Sam met Poppy for the second time, the first time being a brief dating spell at Young Farmers, I remember exactly what she said to me outside Manor in Leamington that night. I can't repeat it here, but I can confirm to everyone that she wasn't lying. If you want to know, buy me a drink.
You've moved to Exeter, turned our house into a home. Lots of pillows, lots of throws.
The museum.
I've learned that I don't clean the house the right way. My New Skyline duvet set is gone. My homage to Oasis has been relegated to the loft. You've forged an incredible career, becoming incredibly successful in the company. The Southwest is our home and our future, and that is down to you, darling. However, I will still be slowly turning our home into a history museum as I won't stop collecting helmets, bits of Lancaster bombers, old books, Spitfire speed gauges, anything remotely along those lines. So sorry in advance.
Sam's career kept him away from home for months at a time and eventually moved to Exeter, a move made more homely once Poppy joined him. Although I'm not sure even she can convince him to chuck out the Beatles cushion.
You have always been there for me when I've needed you. Helped me through one of the darkest periods of my life, never judged me, always tried to understand, and you brought me back from the brink. You loved me when I didn't love myself, and you would sit up with me when I couldn't sleep, support me when I didn't really know where I was. You saved my life. Poppy, with you, everything feels lighter. Even the hardest days aren't so heavy when I know that I have you to lean on. You make the ordinary feel magical. Sitting next to you, sharing funny stories, or even just watching the world go by becomes my favourite place to be. You have given me a love, a trust, a connection I can believe in, and a future I'm so excited to build. I hope you know how deeply, endlessly, and completely I love you, Poppy.
Let me see.
The times we had as kids were truly the best, and that's down to the incredible upbringing we had. Our family has always been a strong network, one where Poppy has made a great addition, shaping who we are, especially Mum and Dad. Our grandparents have been a massive part of our lives too. We honestly wouldn't be who we are today without them. And if I'm being honest, Sam would never have joined the Navy if it wasn't for the naval stories and photos that Grandad used to show us. And I'm sure he would have loved telling those tales today with all of you. So if I could ask you all to raise a glass, here's to my little Gran, who's with us today. And to Grandad, Nan, Dan, and all those family and friends who aren't here, but whose spirit and traits run deep in all of us. Their legacy lives on through us.
To both our sons, may your bond continue to be a source of strength and joy throughout your lives. May your brotherly bond continue and inspire you both, and may you always be there for each other. And as Grampy said, always stay friends. So Sam and Poppy, I wish you a lifetime of love, laughter and happiness. May your love for each other continue to grow with each passing day. And always remember the most important thing in a marriage is always to make each other laugh. Because laughter truly is the best medicine.
I have no doubt that the adventures you'll share together will be just as full of laughter, chaos, and love as the ones we had growing up. Only now, Sam has someone who will keep him in check far better than I ever could. So I now say to you, Poppy, I hope you enjoy growing old with Sam as much as I have enjoyed growing up with him.
And therefore I proclaim they are husband